Hello and a warm welcome to the program. I'm Melinda Akinlami and these are the stories and reports we're tracking at this time. The House of Representatives is calling for the immediate intervention of government in reducing the cost of living in the country, which has been a pressing issue. This comes 24 hours after protests broke out in Minna, Niger State over the cost of food items. The House, through a motion by Honorable Isiaka Ibrahim, wants the federal government to invest in high-impact measures and appeals to stakeholders in the production chain to be very realistic with the increment of prices of their foods and services. Meanwhile, the House has admitted the Ministers of Finance, Budget and National Planning, the CBN Governor and the FIRS Chairman into the chamber for a debate on the economy. Last year, the House held a sectorial debate on security, with the security heads discussing the situation in the country. Farmers in Jigawa State have appealed to the government to complete an abandoned irrigation project in Owawade Dam, Dutse. When completed, the irrigation system is estimated to benefit hundreds of thousands of farming families in the state.
Blessed with arable land and immense water resources, about 80% of the population in Jigawa State depends on farming. Many of these farmers engage in subsistence farming as a result of poor irrigation systems and lack of use of modern techniques. The irrigation system project in Warwada Dam, Dutse, the state capital, has been abandoned for years by the government, and farmers are not happy with the situation.
What we are calling and appealing to the government is that when this irrigation is finished, it will be usable to more than 1 million people. It will give room not only to our people here locally, but to the entire local government of Dutse in Jigawa State, where people will be empowered irrigationally when this channel is finished.
Inusa Gambo describes how the existing channels are unusable as they are incomplete. He appeals to the government to complete the project.
We want the government to help us complete this project. Even if it is 5-kilometer channels, can go a long way.
Another farmer has more concern in getting extension services from experts to improve his output.
My main concern is getting extension services because we need to learn new ways so that we can get more yield.
The current administration has agriculture at the top of its agenda, and reviving the 11 existing dams across the state is the first step.
Inshallah, government is now deciding how we will reactivate these dams. At least we know the hectares that farmers are using. Now we will expand it so that we can minimize the cost of using fuel. Therefore, inshallah, we will do that to see that all our dams this year, we rehabilitate them. We'll do everything possible to see that their irrigation activities have come alive at that particular dams.
The revival of the Warwada Dam irrigation project holds the key to unlocking a bountiful future for Jigawa's agricultural sector.
Still talking agriculture, Governor Dauda Lawal has emphasized its importance to Zamfara state economy, noting that it's predominantly agrarian. Governor Lawal made this known at the flag-off ceremony of the distribution of fertilizers, agricultural assets and vital farm inputs to farmers in 6 local government areas of the state. The ceremony marked the continuation of the distribution of agricultural assets under the COVID-19 Action, Recovery and Economic Stimulus Program in the state.
Over 80% of the population of Zamfara state is involved in agriculture, with many farmers either producing millet, guinea corn, maize, rice, groundnut, cotton, tobacco or beans. A reason why the state's mantra is farming is our pride. The state government sees this as a position of strength in Nigeria, as discussions across different fora call for an aggressive return to the fields, regarded decades ago as the backbone of Nigeria's foreign exchange earnings. In its efforts to ensure adequate agricultural products and food security across Zamfara state, Governor Dauda Lawal has distributed vital agricultural inputs such as fertilizers, machines and other items to farmers in 6 local government areas of Birnin Magaji, Zurmi, Kaura Namoda, Bakura, Maradun and Talata Mafara. This stimulus package is expected to empower over 100,000 farmers across all 14 local government areas of the state over the next 4 years.
It is our hope that this stimulus will go a long way in improving the productive capacity of the farmers in Kauranamo, the local government area, and the entire Zamfara state. With the recent integration of the Askarawa, in addition to the numerous other measures we have implemented to improve the security situation across the state, it is our hope that farmers who have been unable to get access to their farms due to threats of bandits will now be able to do so, inshallah.
The state project coordinator of Fadama 3, Ismaila Abubakar, says the distribution of the farm inputs will enhance farmers' agricultural productivity.
This will definitely go a long way in empowering our farmers to boost their agricultural production. We are very happy and sincerely grateful to His Excellency on this gesture. Giving agricultural inputs and agricultural assets to farmers in order to boost their production.
Emir of Kaura Namoda, Sanusi Ahmad Asha, appreciates the governor's efforts in reviving almost all the sectors in the state. The Emir also solicited for the timely approval and takeoff of Zamfara State College of Legal and Islamic Studies, Kaura Namoda.
The Human Development Center, you have allocated over 200 million in this same Kaura Namoda. We have a vocational center for women, JSS 1 to JSS 3. In fact, they are doing painting now. The last time is on the grassroots, but now it's on the painting side. We thank you for this, Angaya. Now what I want to see for you to come for is to commence the College of Legal and Islamic Studies. And I wish you come here to graduate the first set of the same school.
Farmers in the state, in the meantime, are urged to take advantage of the state's assets to increase their yields and contribute to the development of the state through large-scale production.
Staying in Zamfara, the state government has announced plans to invest more than 1 billion naira in the enhancement of the 700-capacity Saudana Memorial Stadium in Gusau and the NYSC Permanent Orientation Camp in Safe. The Commissioner for Youth and Sports Development, Tiasu Shinkafi, made this known while inaugurating an 11-member committee for the comprehensive youth infrastructure enhancement in Gusau. The Commissioner revealed that the stadium project is one of the 2 major capital projects currently underway, both being executed by the state government.
Our administration's dedication to youth development is steady, and the formation of this committee highlights the importance we place on provide tangible opportunities and infrastructure for our young citizens. The comprehensive enhancement of youth infrastructure in Zamfara State is not just a goal, it is a shared vision that we collectively strive to achieve. As we embark on this transformative journey, unity and a shared sense of purpose become paramount.
To security now. The Kaduna state government says it will soon launch a security trust fund and 2 military forward operation bases aimed at assisting security agencies in combating the menace of kidnapping, terrorism and banditry. The governor, Mr. Uba Sani, who made this disclosure during a meeting with the Kaduna Elders Forum, also identifies poverty and unemployment as the root of the lingering insecurity in the Northwest Zone. He adds that the only way out of the security challenges remain good governance, justice and equity for the people.
This is the 4th meeting between the Kaduna elders and Governor Uba Sani since he assumed office on May 29, 2023. The forum, which is a non-partisan and non-religious platform, is co-chaired by the former military governor of Rivers State, General Zamani Lekot, retired, and the former head of service in Kaduna State, Abubakar Mustafa. Governor Sani, accompanied by his deputy, Dr. Adiza Balarabe, welcomes the elders to the meeting, which is in line with his administration's participatory style of governance, aimed at carrying the citizens along in the programs and projects of the government. Co-chairman of the Elders Forum congratulates Governor Sani on his victory at the Supreme Court and commends him on his numerous people-oriented programs in the past 7 months.
Happily enough, Your Excellency, your commendable style of leadership is bearing fruit already. By choosing to start your administration from the rural areas where the bulk of the population lives, being an agrarian state, that is where the farms are located. You have started a long journey on the right foot.
It is important that we call on the very good people of Kaduna State to give all the support they can render for this government to succeed. This government requires support for peace to prevail. And once there's no peace, you hardly have development.
Kaduna for many years has witnessed several ethno-religious conflicts, but the elders are happy with the steps taken so far by the present administration to right the wrongs of the past.
I've been working on fighting insecurity. Thank you. And we've been trying to restore the mutual peaceful coexistence between Christians and Muslims. With your permission, Excellency, I want to say that we will soon be calling you the Sardona of our time.
For Governor Sani, whose administration inherited the multifaceted security challenges as well as other socioeconomic problems in Kaduna, addressing the challenges require a collaborative approach, just as he rails out measures taken to tackle the menace of banditry, kidnapping, and terrorism in the state.
They have agreed to set up 2 forward operating bases of the military in Kaduna State. Number 1, they have agreed to set up one in southern Kaduna Aziz with Zamfara as the base. And another one will be set up also in the next 3 to 4 weeks by the grace of God in Beningwari, that will also serve the Beningwari Aziz as coming down to Jigawa. So I think it's one of the most important interventions by the defense headquarters. We always say that we need more boots on ground and we need the support of the military generally, and we're having that support.
Regular meetings and interactions like this, according to the governor, remain the main thrust of his administration towards deepening citizens' engagement and participatory governance in an effort to bring about the needed socio-economic development in the state.
Coming up on the program, we'll be talking to a representative from the Kano state government to find out how the government is handling the hue and cry that has come from the rise in food prices. Details in a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back. Some women who specialize in baking gurasa, a local bread originating from northern Nigeria, have lamented the high cost of wheat flour in Kano state. The women who staged the protest said they cannot afford to continue production if the prices remain high. Our correspondent Sadiq Ilyasu has more.
In the commercial city of Kano, in the northwest region, economic activities are feeling the effect of flexible exchange rates. The cost of food items has skyrocketed to an all-time high.
As the inflation rate remains high in the country, businesses in the commercial city of Kano state continue to suffer. In the last 6 months, many food items have seen an increase of at least 50% in prices.
A bag of flour has been sold at the cost of 23,000 naira and now is selling at 42,000 naira. A 50 kg bag of rice was sold at 43,000 naira and now is selling at 70,000 naira. 25 liters of groundnut oil are sold at 22,000 naira and now are selling at 43,000 naira. Memuna Usaini is a grasser baker in Dogonnama area of Kano state. She is a single mother with 5 children.
We can only pray for the better. We are just doing the business in order not to be idle.
Aisha Inua, a widow who is also a grasser baker, is in a similar situation. This group of women staged a protest to register their concern.
We are appealing to the government to please reduce the cost of living. We and our children are suffering. Everything is now expensive for us. Our children can't go to school because of the hardship.
The leadership of the Single Market Development Association believes with proper government intervention, things can return to normal.
So virtually we are discussing and we are trying to urge people and the businessmen in Kano to be calm. And we are discussing with government officials on the issue. And inshallah, our pleadings will be considered, inshallah.
The fall in the value of the naira and the removal of fuel subsidy are among the factors affecting the prices of food items in the state.
So everybody is saying that the dollar is high and there is no adequate supply of the dollar, and all the measures taken by the central bank have not proved to be adequate. So it means the government needs to go back to the drawing board and see how we can increase the supply of the foreign exchange. And then, of course, we have to look at ways to also reduce the pressure on the dollar. Maybe we have to look at export, for example, where we are just relying on the export of petroleum products, you understand, as the major source of revenue to the country. And I think whatever comes from there is what will be now divided into the whole other sectors of the economy. I think something has to be done about that too.
The economic strain caused by the soaring prices of essential commodities is severely impacting the livelihoods of women in Kano state, and urgent interventions are needed to alleviate their economic hardship. Sadiq Ilyasu, Channels Television News.
To discuss this issue, let's go live to our studios in Kano State, where the Director General Press, Kano State, Mr. Sanusi Bature, joins us. A pleasure having you with us on the program, Mr. Bature.
Thank you very much for having me, Melinda.
Okay, so how is the Kano State government handling the issue of the rise in commodities? The people appear fed up, especially the women.
Well, you know, Kano is arguably the most populous state, and we probably have the highest consumption in terms of food items and other resources. So this is really an issue that government has taken very serious because people are in hunger. Just yesterday, His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kano State, Alhaji Abba Kabir Yusuf, invited the business community, at least the key figures in the business community, to discuss how effectively the state can manage the issue of hike in the foodstuff. That discussion centered around how food items can be available and affordable to the common people in the state. And as a government, His Excellency, even before this time, he deliberately initiated a lot of interventions, which include the distribution of palliatives, where a palliative compliance distribution committee was set up to ensure that whatever is allocated in the food items to be given as palliative is given to the 484 wards across the 44 local governments in the state. And a special attention was given to people living with disabilities and the families of late military and paramilitary officers who are no longer alive. So we have identified some key vulnerable groups and as well the pensioners who are no longer in service. So the second thing His Excellency did, particularly for the pensioners, is to ensure that their entitlement that have been hanging by the previous administration was settled. He earmarked the sum of 6 billion naira, which was used to pay the pension gratuity of some of the pensioners, especially those below the grade level of 10. And at the same time, there was a special empowerment program given to people living with disabilities last month, so that some of them can be off the street of Kano for begging. And at the same time, being the most populous state in the state, we're not looking at only the immediate solution to this problem, but a sustainable solution that can ensure food sufficiency and affordability in the state. We have 22 earth dams and a lot of irrigation facilities, which His Excellency has put in the budget to renovate those dams and ensure there is an all-year round production of the food crops to ensure that there is a sufficiency in the production of food in the state. Okay, and then the biggest grains market in West Africa is domiciled in Kano, which is the Wano market. His Excellency has set up a committee to review the operations and the functionality of that market and ensure that price is stabilized for all the major crops.
Okay, Mr. Bature.
And on the other side,
just if I can quickly come in here, has there been any feedback? You mentioned a list of things the government has been doing from the palliative committee and what have you, to ensure that these committees that have been set up, they're actually doing their jobs, and what is meant to get to the most vulnerable and the poor actually gets to them.
Yes, we set up an accountability mechanism to ensure that what is meant for the poor gets to the poor at the right time. That is about the palliative distribution committee, which we also have another separate committee that is called palliative compliance committee for distribution of palliatives, headed by the secretary to the state government, which monitor the distribution and then set up some accountability mechanism that track the distribution to the household level.
Now, the House of Representatives has also asked that the federal government to address the economic hardship being experienced by Nigerians. What kind of policies do you think the federal government should put in place to actually deal with this situation?
Well, I think His Excellency just mentioned in his meeting with the business community yesterday that he will personally meet President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to tell him the condition of the people in Kano. The policies we are looking at is how to increase the production of food items, because in Kano we have an arable land that is sufficient enough to produce what Kano and the neighboring states can eat. And then by increasing the production, and also we have to ensure stability of the price so that it can be affordable to all the people in the state. And at the same time, you need to increase the purchasing power of the people as well, because no matter how low the price is, if someone doesn't have a job, will not be able to buy the food items. So therefore, all the initiatives around empowerment for women and youth and job creation are centered around the increasing the purchasing power of the 2 million population of Kano to ensure that they can be able to take care of themselves.
Okay, Mr. Sanusi Baturi, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us on the program.
Thank you very much.
That's the program today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Melinda Akinlami.